Hey everyone, welcome back to Riffs Across Generation. I'm your host Andrew, and I'm here with my co-host
Eli.
And we are here with the tail end of the Wacken Metal Battle here in Florida. We have three guests on today. Three guests again. Usually we have one, but we're trying this three again. And we have a couple of the finalists, a band called Corrupted Saint and a band called Nibiru. They are in the finals, which is a week from today. We were recording this the weekend before, so it's Saturday here. And we also have a representative from TampaBayMetal.com. So if you guys want to just introduce yourselves, what band you're from, so our listeners can put a voice with a name, I'd appreciate it.
Well, I'm Alan. I'm from the band Nibiru. I play guitar. I used to do vocals, but we've gotten a singer now, and we're from Gainesville, Florida, and very happy to be included in all this stuff for sure, and definitely honored to be alongside, Corrupted Saint and the other awesome bands that are playing.
I'm Chase Moody. I'm from Corrupted Saint. We're located in Lakeland. We were originally from Jacksonville, Florida. Started around 2013, and then just finally made some strides, releasing a couple EPs, split with another band, and we're stoked, man. Nibiru is an insane talent. There's a lot of competition on this, but whoever wins it, I'm gonna be happy for him.
Oh, it's gonna be a wild one, man. Everybody's badass on the bill.
What's your name?
Oh, and I'm Ruben.
James?
All right. My name's James Harrison. I'm the founder of Tampa Metal Scene. We're pretty much here to help promote the scene, help promote all the metal bands, all the metal shows that are going on. We're going to be starting TampaBayMetalScene.com. That's going to expand us a little bit beyond our geography. But number one, Tampa Bay Metal Scene is essentially it's essentially I just totally lost the word. It's about unity. It's about everybody working together, to make the community work. But that's the philosophy that we started it on back in late 2007, early 2008, and that's what we're here for. That's what we do.
Nice. Okay, before we get to the interviews, the band interviews, and dig in there, I want to say congratulations to both Corrupted Saint and Nibiru getting through that first round. With the amount of talent that's in the Florida market, I mean, it's good just to get on the first round, but let alone getting to the second round, I think is a pretty big achievement. So congratulations. We're super stoked for both you guys.
Very excited.
Thank you. It was intense.
Yeah, and then this is the first year of it. I saw some. We were watching actually a live stream of the Caribbean final, and they've been doing it for 10 years down there, and it really grew into something like special down there in Puerto Rico. They sold out the venue. I don't know how, 1,200 people, 1,300 people, however big it was.
Nice.
And they had a couple like larger headliners, but yeah, we're super happy to be part of the first Tampa area, the first Florida Wacken battle here. So we'll start with you, Chase. Tell us a little bit about Corrupted Saint. Dig in a little bit about maybe your style, where you're from, just about you or your bass player.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm originally from Green Cove Springs, Florida. Started playing guitar when I was about 13. I don't know, Metallica kind of got me into, wanting to riff and learn how to downpick like Hetfield. So that kind of definitely helped me develop into my style. We've had so many different members, and I basically, I guess, molded my style based off of being more into like thrash metal whenever I was younger. And then I got more into, death metal and black metal, but also like super into like neoclassical shred stuff like Yngwie Malmsteen. I like my jazz fusion and stuff like that. So it's just basically getting like really tasteful like type of leads, but still like brutality and aggression when it comes to my riffs.
Yeah, we really try to mix it up, man. Like, there's even parts like we got a song called "Purveyors of Devastation," and like one of the parts is kind of like almost like a surf rocky kind of thing, and that's why we based off of that. And we just try to like bullshit around and try to find something that's cool and original, and something that not everybody's doing. You know what I mean? And partying.
Yeah.
Before we get into the recorded music, let's discuss the live set. You seem to bring a crazy rowdy energy to the show, which is awesome. Glad to see it. You're just a mix of Florida fast-paced death metal is what I really hear in there, like all the thrash stuff. Just tell us about your stage energy.
I think that's a big part of what we do. I think with Corrupted Saint, like our recordings, don't get me wrong, they're awesome, but like you can't really get it until you see us live because I'm out there with my shirt off, going crazy. Chase is doing his little foot dance, and our singer Devin's bouncing around all crazy, and we got all the freaks out there in the audience pushing and shoving each other around, and hell, it's just a good time, man. It's really just like an old school rock and roll show, like because I feel like I don't know. We've been to a lot of different types of music shows, and a lot of different types of stuff doesn't really like to get the energy going anymore. You know what I mean? A lot of people just like to stand there and look stupid. But
Yeah.
I don't know. When I'm at a concert, I want to push somebody. I want to
Yeah.
get into a fight. I want to have a good time. You know what I mean? Get rowdy.
Yeah, absolutely. And y'all are originally from Duval County, right? Jacksonville
Yep.
area. And it seems like that's a place like no other place I've ever been. Do you feel like that's, that energy up there is different from maybe any other places that have a band? Because you guys definitely have that vibe, that crazy vibe. And did you lose any of that when you moved away from that area at all?
So especially being in Jacksonville, it's a very hardcore scene, which is why like I feel like I've written some like really like brutal, like almost slamming riffs, not being classified as a slam band, but that type of style in their music. Everybody was always doing like the beat down and the hardcore, and everybody would be like crowd killing or throwing hands with each other. So I feel like that kind of rubbed off a little bit on what we like to do. I would say I definitely enjoy Tampa more. I feel like people more appreciate the music. I feel like in Jacksonville, like it kind of did turn into, like he was talking about, people just standing there not really doing stuff, and you have like 2 or 3 people trying to start, and then everybody else is just like, "What are you doing, dude?"
But Jacksonville definitely has a energy. I mean, especially like right when like COVID kind of happened, none of the venues were like really doing anything. So a lot of bands just started playing under the bridge because they had a couple outlets, and it turned into a big old thing, man. It was crazy. Like everybody would kind of go out there and party and just know, it was free to get into because there's nothing. Eventually got shut down because
Yeah,
it got too big, but it was a fun time while it lasted.
yeah. We tried to like finish out with a set, and it was like 11 o'clock, and then the city pulled the power on us.
Crazy. So with your writing style, you definitely, as Eli mentioned, you bring that death metal with that big thrash twist. How is writing a Corrupted Saint song? How does that develop? How does it go from let's write a song to we're going to put old school death metal sounding on top of the crazy thrash on top of it?
That's a good question. Yeah, so I mean, like the fact that we classify ourselves as death thrash, we're more or less, I would say we're definitely more of a thrash band with death metal elements, or it could be the other way around. I listen to a lot of Demolition Hammer, big Morbid
Yes.
Angel fan, so I just like super like low, heavy. To big Pantera fan, obviously. I do the dime squeals and all that. Pantera and Dimebag Darrell's like one of my biggest inspirations.
It's a lot of trial and error too. A lot
Yeah.
of times we'll write a song and we feel like it's okay, and we play it a bunch and we play it like once or twice live and it doesn't feel right. Then we'll change a riff here, change a riff there. And there was one song that we had. It was called Black and Night, and at one point every single riff changed. So we just renamed the whole song. We were like, this ain't even the same song no more. You know what I mean?
It's yeah, I don't know. It's hard because like when I write riffs, like obviously I try to map it out to a metronome, and I just kind of go off like different ideas and what I can do. I just like to bring something that, I don't like to play like the really generic sounding like riffs, and I'm not trying to diss on anybody, but I want to bring something that's unique, but I want it to be brutal and fast paced, and then yeah, just like the thrash parts and like you said, the surf rocky type of stuff. It's just we listen to a lot of DRI, Municipal Waste, like Havoc, stuff like that, like that really awoke, I'd say, the thrash out of me, and then like Morbid Angel, Deicide, and stuff like that. It's definitely made me more death metal and appreciate the blast beats and the heavy tremolo picking and everything.
Yeah, and just something fun, man. Something you want to dance to. You know what I mean?
There you go. It's good.
Just a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's funny you bring up Demolition Hammer, which I loved growing up. And yeah, now that you mention, I can hear the influence, in your music from them. Just that chaotic, no rules type thrash metal. Yeah, very cool.
I appreciate that, man. That means that's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah. One serious question here. Can you tell me why is there no more room in the morgue?
Oh God.
So that one actually it came from it was a news article from New York during the COVID too, and they said there's no more room in the morgue, and we are like, that's too perfect, we got to use that
and then yeah, and then Devin just like put a spin. Like obviously, we're not, it's in the music, but it turned into like some like necrophilia, I guess.
one. He went a Cannibal Corpse direction with it.
Exactly. It was that. But yeah, no, man. It was. I saw that headline and I was like, all right, this is great. And this is a little teaser here on the next album. We have a song called "Burn Beyond Recognition." And I did that because they said Paul Walker was "Burn Beyond Recognition." I was like, all right, that sounds sick. It's a cool death metal sounding.
Yeah, right. Art imitating life, or vice versa. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man.
No More Room in the Morgue just seems like a sing-along song. I mean, it's so catchy. Is that something you write into the music, or does it just kind of take a life of its own?
I think it kind of really does take a life of its own because, like, we'll be jamming and making the shit perfect, and then we'll send the music up to Devin because, I mean, he lives all the way up in Tennessee, our vocalist. We met him back when he was a teenager, or when we were teenagers, and
Yeah, we
he
played
was
a gig with him.
yeah, he was touring with a different band, and once we needed a vocalist, he came along, and he's just been awesome, man. He really knows what he's doing with just kind of catching the vibe of the music. You know what I mean? Getting really into the I guess like the beat of it. You know what I mean? Like he's awesome, man. Really changed some stuff for the band, I'd say.
Cool. So what's next for Corrupted Saint? I know you teased on you guys are working on another album.
Yeah, we got something that's about writ. We need some changes to it. Other than that, we just want to play the best shows around. We want to tour again. We want to just take over the world, man.
Sounds
Germany.
easy enough. All right, very cool. We'll swing back around towards the end of the interview to get how people can get a hold of you guys and support you guys. But we're going to move on to Alan. What's going on, Alan?
Oh, not much, man. Just chilling on a Saturday.
So Alan's from Nibiru, as you heard earlier. We, in full disclosure, when we first heard Nibiru was going to be on the ticket, we started looking up Nibiru stuff, and there's a few Nibirus that we ran into. So we want to make sure when people look up Nibiru, your Nibiru, the good Nibiru, that they look up Nibiru FL, like on Spotify. Right. That's how it's listed. And you can always see it with the crazy alien artwork. Is that what you'd call it on the album?
Yeah, it's definitely a unique piece of art. We just the guy who did it is over in the Philippines somewhere and has done a lot of logos and stuff for bands and did our logo. And, I just kind of gave him an idea on what we wanted, and he sent us a few different things. And, it was interesting, and it kind of gave a little bit more of a death metal vibe than what we are exactly, but it's pretty sick. So I was like, okay, yeah, we're going to use it. I mean? But just to have our name on something that wild, I was like, yeah, I like it, and I like the colors too. It's not a typical color pattern or whatever.
Yeah, it definitely pops. That's why we want to make sure when people are looking for you, they caught that album like cover on there and they know it's you guys. All the other ones are pretty boring Nibirus.
Yeah, some Russian kid in his bedroom copyrighted the name 25 years ago, and
yeah,
it is what it is. I mean, and we never really expected to go much further than Gainesville anyway. So I mean, it was like there was nobody called Nibiru around here,
right?
So and plus I like the vibe of it, the sci-fi kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are from Gainesville, right? Just give us a little history on the band, I guess.
Well, like Corrupted Saint, we started about 2013. Me and my drummer Gray, though, have been playing together honestly since 1996, pretty much straight through. We've had a dozen bands together. We had a band called Dopamine, Jabberwocky. We've done tribute bands, Good Friends and a Bottle of Whiskey, which is a Pantera tribute band. We've done Opeth tribute bands. We were called Still Life. We did an Alice in Chains. Well, actually, Gray wasn't in the Alice in Chains tribute band. But, we've just played nonstop since '96, and this was just the next evolution after our last, after our Opeth tribute band kind of fell apart. We just started writing. Originally, we were just going to do instrumentals. I didn't want to do vocals or whatever, but because we didn't really want a standalone singer. But here we are with a standalone singer and everything. But I mean, it's good though, because I mean, our new singer fits in well, and a lot of it is personality more than anything else, and he slid right in and fits pretty well with the rest of us. So.
Yeah. I guess this next question actually touches on the fact that you have a lead singer now. What drove the move from trio to a four-piece, and how did that affect your sound?
Well, a lot of it came from the fact that doing the vocals for myself, like I hurt my throat. COVID messed me up. I had some medicine that gave me a bad cough and just kind of scarred my throat, which I quit taking and everything. And it really just got to be painful to do those kind of vocals. I have no technique or anything. It's just balls out, and every once in a while I go, oh, that didn't hurt. But most of the time it's like I can't talk after a show. And it made it to where it was not as fun as it should be. I love playing guitar, but I didn't like being the singer. I don't mind being the guy talking to the crowd or whatever, but doing the vocals, being out of breath and everything, it just got to be too much. And I'd actually asked Don a couple years ago if he wanted to join. And at the time he wasn't into it at all, but then him and I started doing another project together, and I slowly was able to pull him over into this, just because, I mean, he's just got some of the most ridiculous screams I've ever heard. And I mean, he's only, scratched the surface of what he can do with what we do. And it's going to be a lot of fun to come up with new stuff with him, with his voice in my head instead of my limited range.
Yeah, cool. Do you think it helped your live show, like having a presence of a guy who can move around with a microphone and interact that way, and not have to worry about two things at once?
He can, I have a problem. Like if I look at somebody in their eyes while I'm playing, I'm ruined. I mess up. I'm done. And it just breaks my concentration. So I play with my eyes closed a lot.
That's good to know.
And singing, I would sing with my eyes closed. So 75% of our set is just this guy up here with his eyes closed the whole time. So it's good to have a singer who can run around, who can, talk, in between parts or whatever, and get people more riled up, and I can just think about playing, and then also I can move around a little bit more too, and not be tied to a microphone, and not be worried about getting out of breath or whatever from headbanging. And at our last show, which was his second show, one of the songs we played, I was headbanging like crazy through a part, and I was realizing I've never gotten a headbang through this part because I've always been singing it. I'm like, this is fun. I like this. So I mean, it definitely will make the show better in so many ways. I mean, just he's got great energy too. And he's not shy. That's for sure. So
yeah. That's the important piece of a front man, right? Don't be shy. Right.
Exactly.
Keep your eyes open.
He was like, do you want me to wear a dress or dress up on stage? We're like, no, you don't have to go that far, man. I mean, but just do what you want to do though, and we'll see. But the stress off of me for live shows is now good. I can play guitar. I'm not worried about that, but I'd always be worried if I was going to be able to sing or not.
Right.
Yeah. We hear a lot of influence in different styles of music in your songs. It really changes just the complete feel of the band from tune to tune. How do you just pull that off live? I mean, does it affect the way people see you for the first time?
Yeah, because if you walk in and we're playing one kind of song, and it's a jazzier, slower song, and then 5 minutes later we're screaming at you, go, what the hell did I just walk in on? But a lot of the more rock songs or whatever, we don't play much anymore. Whenever we started out, I was trying to do anything but what we had already just done forever. I was trying not to write super technical speed metal songs. I was trying not to write anything down tuned. Everything's in standard tuning. Everything is, well, a couple of the songs are in like an open tuning, but I just tried to do something different than what I had done forever. And then, but slowly but surely, the speed metal step kept coming back. And then it's fun, it's more fun to play the high energy songs live. That's for sure. And, the song Rebar Through the Heart, which you were talking about earlier, we would play that as a way just to take a break from the metal every once in a while.
Yeah.
But, our former bass player used to sing it and stuff. And since he left, a couple years back, I don't even think we've played the song since then. But, I like the middle part. It was like my little Joe Satriani guitar solo stuff or whatever, but
there was a real hatred for cornhole game in that song, right?
Yeah, that was all him, but it was, it's always, we love humor in music, we don't want anything to be too serious. So it was a good, kind of silly song. Like one of our other songs is Bed by Nine, it's about being old. And,
That's me,
it's like, we so many people are like, oh, you guys play so late. We'd love to go, but, we can't make it. It's just too late. But then when we have a Sunday show at 4:00, they're like, well, it's on Sunday. It's so early. It's at 4:00, But, I mean, it's always got to have humor and got to just keep things different. I like trying to not write the same song twice.
Right. So outside of those two songs, the name Nibiru is an ancient Babylonian astronomy term. And with the album cover, it just brings me to thinking about, aliens. Does that description cover a lot of the metal song lyrics? Are they spiritual, alien-ish?
It does in some respects. I mean, like the Nibiru that I kind of was listening or learning about, there's everything's hypothetical, of course, nothing's proven, but there's a race of aliens, which, they're called the Anunnaki, that live on Nibiru and are sort of the reason why, humans came into existence theoretically, and it's just fun, because nobody can prove you wrong. And, and it's a fun topic. And, like the song Harvest is kind of written from that perspective. The song Nibiru is definitely written from that perspective. Suburban Alien is a little bit from that perspective, but that's about it. The rest of the songs kind of all are on their own thing, as far as whatever the lyrical meaning is. But, I would love to do like some kind of concept thing, but, I'm not that creative, I guess.
Yeah.
Lyrically, for sure, I mean, it's hard to, come up with a big, group of lyrics or whatever for multiple songs. It takes me long enough just to write one.
Yeah, hit up the guys from Nocturnus AD and they'll walk you through.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We'll do the key part 4.
Yeah. Nice. So what's next for Nibiru? What's the future plans after the
well,
Wacken
once
battle?
we get back from the Wacken festival, after we just play that, we're gonna try to record again. But I mean, in all seriousness, that's our next step, is recording. We have 2 songs that aren't recorded yet that, we're starting to play out. And then I want to re-record 2 or 3 of our songs from the last album with the newer lineup. We have new bass player Adrian, who's been with, he's been with us for 2 years, but, he's not on the album. And then obviously with Don doing the vocals. And sadly though, Adrian, our bass player, isn't going to be able to play next week's show. He just had some surgery, and, he's probably going to still be in recovery mode and it was, up here. So, I mean, the headbanging would just be nothing but pure pain. Yeah. So we have one of our buddies who's going to fill in, for bass. So it'll be.
I was going to say, there's an extra bass player right here on the podcast. You can just ask him right now.
Yeah, if you live right down the road like this other guy, we could work something out. But,
Yeah, right.
You can be in 2 bands. You double your chances of going to Germany.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I mean, we feel bad for him, but at the same time, we're thankful that our friend Maddie's going to help out, and he's a guitar player and good at that. So I mean, he's picking up the songs pretty well, and thankfully we're only having to do 4 songs, and he doesn't have to learn a whole bunch. But it'll be interesting, and but just recording and trying to keep playing shows. We already have some shows booked in August and October and stuff, and to me that's just so far away. I don't even want to think about it yet, but
yeah.
But recording probably in mid-June, and then go from there, see what happens. Awesome. And all the notoriety and press from this hopefully will help, get us some gigs down the road and stuff, and now I'm feel more confident in booking with a singer because, like I said, for me, it was always like I played as little as possible just because I knew I was going to be hurting, and like I can't do 2 nights in a row or, whatever. And now it's pretty much we can do whatever we need to.
Very cool. Yeah. So that's hopefully, this podcast will help push both you guys out there and get some more attention, get people eyeballs on you. That's what we're trying to do anyways by doing this podcast. So James, you still here? You ready to talk about the Wacken Fest?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited. We were approached by Jerry to put this on early, or it was like mid last year. And it was just an awesome opportunity for all the bands here. And, we're excited to be able to do this, to put this on and give these guys the opportunity. I'll tell you, the next show is going to be incredible. It's going to be a really hard one to judge. Every band that's on this is just amazing, talented, just beyond. I mean, we're just super stoked for this whole thing.
Yeah. Besides working with the Tampa Metal Scene, you're also, I guess, the master of ceremonies of sorts for the Wacken battles, right?
Yeah, I'm chief babbler on stage, I suppose. I'm the guy that gets to go up and make an ass out of myself. But no, that's been a lot of fun, getting back on stage and stuff and interacting. So, yeah, I don't know why they chose me, but yeah, I'm having fun with it, though.
Yeah, you have a good rapport with the crowd. It's good. Did you see a difference in so maybe either with the type of bands that played the first one as opposed to the type of bands that played the second? Did you see a different energy with the crowd? Did you see different crowd types, or how has that gone along?
Yeah, I mean, every band, obviously the crowd reaction is going to be a little bit different. The vibe is going to be a little bit different. And that's what's really made this all really a lot of fun, is that every band has had their unique quality. You're not hearing a bunch of bands that all sound the same, that are all doing the same thing. I mean, every band is extremely creative. They have their own thing. They have their own vibe, and the people react to it. And, and I don't think that there's been a dead moment in this battle at all. I mean, all the bands that have participated, as we said from the beginning, there's no, there are no losers, there's only winners in this. And all the bands that have participated have definitely proven that. And that's what's made this such an amazing journey. Yeah, so it's incredible. It's just a lot of fun to watch these guys go out there and just kill it, and then you see they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears all in it. And, it's just amazing to watch.
Nice.
Yeah. There are a lot of different styles of metal each night. So what are some of the different things that each band is being judged on?
The actual true components are supposed to be top secret. But it does have everything to do with their night, with their performance, with their professionalism, their timing, obviously the crowd participation, like pretty much every aspect of the night comes into play in the judging. But as I said, the actual list is top secret. That comes from Wacken itself. So, but it's all judged on that night and what you're doing, what you're putting on there on the stage. So. When it comes to me, as far as different styles of metal, I love them all. I mean, I love every kind of style that comes out. I just love the aggressiveness of metal and everything. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really, again, it's all being judged by the night, what the band's all put into it. So every little aspect is being judged there, which is cool. It's actually a really cool way to do it. I've never been a fan of, there's some Battle of the Bands that I've just never bought into. I've just never really enjoyed. This one, they do it right. They set it up right, and that's why we wanted to be involved in this.
Yeah. So the criteria is not to like keep pushing on it to try to get the secrets out of you, but the criteria is the same at every Wacken battle throughout the world, right?
Yes.
So it's all the same list
from the top. Yes. Everyone is judged on the same criteria. Yep, we all
And,
have the
and
same
how
list we got to check off on.
how are the judges selected, and why would anyone want to be a judge?
I don't know if anybody wants to be. It's a tough job. I mean, again, you're judging performances, which requires you to really pay attention to what's going on, in all aspects of it. So it's a difficult thing. I found for me, I try to judge as the band is performing. I try to put it down. I don't want to forget aspects of the night. So I try to really put it on paper, while it's going on, so I could get the true feel and I don't lose anything. But others selected, I don't know. I guess people that have experience performing, that understand the way events run, that just have an understanding of the genre and the crowd and all of that.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much the criteria for the judges.
So you can definitely go on record saying that this is not like wrestling, right? So this isn't like there's no winner already determined and there's no fake shit going on in the background.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's all about the pen to the paper and the categories and how you're selecting it. So no, that's there's no favoritism, anything of that. It's not judged by the amount of people that you bring in the door. That's one thing I know I can say. It's literally judged by the performance and by the different aspects of the performance, which is the way it should be. That's the way a true battle of the band should be judged. And again, it's the only way that we would have ever put anything into this, is because they're doing it right.
Yeah. So speaking of competition, there's always controversy wherever you have competition. I mean, one band will always feel slighted or whatever. But the first battle of the bands, not the one that Corrupted Saint and Nibiru run, there was some issues with one of the bands using backtracking.
I saw that.
Yeah. So are you allowed to speak on that, or what the rules are with backtracking?
Right. What they don't want is fake performance. What they don't want is lip syncing on stage. Obviously, they don't want people. They don't want guitars and drums to be recorded. Things like that. If you have something for ambience in a song, that's a lot different than faking a performance.
Yeah.
I think it was, I don't remember what it was. Somebody said it was bagpipes that were in it. I honestly didn't even notice because it was such a small.
I don't think it was bagpipes.
Thing.
Yeah.
So I don't even really know, but I really wouldn't have expected the Highlanders to get up on stage and perform bagpipes. I might have been turned off. Maybe that would have been a check off of the thing. I don't know, but that obviously, that little thing didn't have anything to do with why we judged the performances the way we did.
Very cool.
So, but again, I mean, obviously everybody puts it out there, on the stage. Everybody comes into this wanting to win, and I truly understand frustration. If you didn't make it to that next level. But again, our philosophy going into this is that there's no losers, only winners. And the one thing that I hope all the bands get out of it is we've really worked hard to try to promote every band as much as we could. It's our goal, and it's always been our goal at Tampa Metal Scene, is to really boost our scene, to really boost the bands in our area, to give them, exposure that they might not ordinarily get. So that was our contribution to it. We really wanted to make sure that all the bands gained something from it, and we try to push them as hard as we can, because again, I mean, there were no weak spots in any of the nights so far. Everybody really did pour their hearts into it. But again, you're always gonna be left with a little bit of controversy.
Yeah.
I think that goes with anything like this, So it is what it is. It definitely was not the reason why I judged.
Yeah, for us seeing the show, we're glad we're not part of the judging or anything else. Actually, 5 of the 6 finalists, including Nibiru and Corrupted Saint, have been on the podcast from one point or another for different shows and whatever. So we're actually rooting for everybody except for that one that didn't come on, I guess. So it's a question for Corrupted Saint and for Nibiru. Does this competition bring you closer to other bands performing, or does it create more of a frenemies for a while and the thoughts of sabotage and stuff like that go off in your head?
Well, we'll definitely try to cheat if we can.
Yes.
And we don't like anybody else, but
hey, we're big wrestling fans, so when you said that, now we're thinking about some Ric Flair type stuff.
Nice.
I don't know, man.
I think it's cool because I mean I like all the bands that we've been playing with, like Nibiru. After they played, I wanted to congratulate them because they kicked ass.
Yeah, that was amazing.
The first band that played the Pontifex, they were wild. Oh, excuse me, they were wild, fun to see because they had all the theatrics with them and stuff. And I think it's cool just to see a bunch of different bands and bands I ain't played with in a little while, like Othalon. I know they didn't make it, but it was fun just seeing them play again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Piss on Christ. Yeah.
Piss on Christ was fun.
My mom still hates that name, but you know they were.
Yeah, I think Jerry with Pyox might hate that name. Whenever he mentions him, he says POC.
Yeah, I heard POC.
Yeah, that takes some balls to put out there on social media.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, dude, you got to look at some of the song titles. Yeah, I would not
bend over you.
And their shirts, and they're wild.
Yeah, I've never looked at music as a competition, no matter what. I mean, if anything, I might be jealous of another band because they have, some badass gear or some killer hair, which I don't have, or whatever. But at the same time, I know that I go up and I do what I do, and they do what they do, and at the same time, it's just everybody should support everybody else. I mean, it's because nobody's like the rock god. We're all in the same place, coming doing the same thing. It's not like anybody is really any better. It's just there's no reason to be a dick to anybody, or anything like that. I mean, if somebody needs to borrow a cabinet or a cable or a drum head, we'll be the first one to be like, here you go, whatever you need. I mean, I've offered people my guitar. I'm like, here you go. If you play in standard, take it. And, well, don't take it, but use it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all about like you said earlier, the community and everybody being unified for the same thing. It's all fun anyway. I mean, why be competitive? There's not a championship trophy at the end of the season or anything. It's just we're all still just going to be jamming next month at another club together.
The way I see it is it's like a mosh pit, right? You got a big chaotic circle going around, right? I mean, you go in there, you want to destroy, right? You want to destroy in the mosh pit. But at the same time, when somebody falls down, you pick them back up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the philosophy of it, and that's what I see as the band's working together and everything. Yeah, you go on stage, you want to kill, you want to put on the best set that you ever have, but at the end of the day, you're there to put that hand out to help somebody else up. But that's one thing that we preach heavily is unity in the scene, and yeah, I agree with you completely.
So no Ric Flair off the top ring rope.
No low blows.
No, yeah.
I guess this question goes out to everyone. Are you bringing anything special for the finals, like different stage presence, props, or delivery to your songs?
Well, we're going to play a song we didn't play the last time, which is our newest song. So, I mean, that's basically, and we're bringing a different bass player. So that's a surprise. But, I mean, we don't really have any theatrics or anything, we're just dudes in t-shirts and jeans that get up there and do what we do. But, we will have a different song and probably some different jokes in between songs,
I'd say this is more guitar nerdy, but apparently my pickups were switched, so I played on my neck pickup the entire night. So when I was trying to hit my pinch harmonics, I was failing. So so already off the bat, I fixed that. So I think we'll be a lot more brutal. I'll be able to hit my pinch harmonics and not want to hit myself at night. And we're going to be playing, a couple of our more technical aspect songs. Obviously, Nibiru kind of, I was like, wow, I was kind of blown away. So I don't know, man. Just just trying to, a lot of people in Tampa have heard like No More Room in the Morgue and Tomb of the Tyrant. Process elimination. We're going to be throwing in some older stuff that made us and really gave us our sound and
a newer one we play too much. Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
So no live gators or anything like that being brought on stage?
No, man,
I'm gonna have backup dancers and a brass section on stage with me. That's what I'm bringing
Nice,
next
nice.
one. Yep.
That'd be awesome. I think Pontifex did the flute solo?
Yeah,
That was
something
sick.
that was
It came out
crazy.
of nowhere. How are you gonna put the guitar down, pick the flute up? Damn.
He's
Yeah,
always we just started getting our feet wet in the TikTok space, and you know, it's something I guess you have to do to get it out there. And one of our biggest video clips we put on there was Pontifex playing that flute. It's like all the black metal kids on TikTok love that.
Everybody loves the flute. Everybody loves the flute.
Yeah, it's all about doing something unique and getting a following. So I salute them for that. You know, plus, yeah, I like their get up. They have their flags. Like, we tried a fog machine one time, and I was like, all right, this is cool, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or wearing like spikes and everything. It's like you wear the cowboy hat already. It's just kind of.
The flute's making a comeback too, man. There was another band. Who was it? The Counterattack.
Yeah, they were.
They had a flute player. They did a cover of. It was an Iron Maiden song. I think it was Trooper.
Yeah, the Trooper.
Yeah, and they had like a flute solo in the middle of it.
There's their
cool.
publicity.
Very cool. So before we wrap it up, what's your take on the scene, the health of music in Florida or in general? You guys, everybody in here except for Eli has been into music for a long time, and so I'm sure you knew what it was like before, and now it's pre-COVID, post-COVID kind of scene is how I see it. So where do you see the scene going? How healthy do you think it is? And are you seeing enough young people in the scene?
Yeah, I would definitely say there's a lot of young people in the scene. I feel like they throw down harder. I mean, I'm like 27, but my back already hurts, so I can't mosh as hard as I used to. But I love seeing just like
still
people.
a kid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still there, but I like seeing people like throw down and just like, you know, move around with the music. Like you said, if somebody falls down, you pick them up. So I say in that aspect, you know, a lot of the younger kids, I see them throwing down. They're playing guitar. They're better guitar players than me. It's like I love to see it because it's inspiring and. Yeah, I think where the scene is right now, it's definitely flourishing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out of Florida. Young Cats, man, Jesus Louise. Hate Your Creation up from Jacksonville,
It's fine,
Florida.
yeah.
Young
Yeah,
kids,
man.
they're awesome. They're destroying it, you know what I mean? And it's cool, man.
No, the reason that he's doing, we did a podcast and I swore like 56 times. They're like, "Hey, we can't put this out." But I've been trying to.
Yeah, we've had black metal bands and we've had grindcore bands, and so yeah, the swearing kind of just goes and continues, and it's fine. People listen to us are used to hearing bands talk like that.
That worked.
Sailor mouth.
I mean, Eli might be offended, but you know, not
I'm very offended. This has been a great interview. Does anyone have anything else to add?
I mean, we appreciate what you guys are doing. Anything to, you know, give our band some more exposure to people that don't, you know, normally find us or whatever, or wouldn't even, you know, ever be able to find us. It's awesome because, you know, we're limited as to where we can go and play. We can't go play, you know, in another country or anything like that yet. And so, I mean, the ability to be able to send out links, go, hey, check it out, you know, and having somebody else push it, that's great. You know, I hope you guys the best success and keep it going, keep growing.
Yeah, you guys are great. You guys are great, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, just being able to have a platform, and I love podcasts. So you know, anytime I'm invited to do something, I'm stoked for it. You know, makes my day. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna hit stop and then we can talk like off a second while everything's uploading.
Sounds good.